and to say that chances are he's not a narcissist. He just don't want you, girl. This is Dee, and this is the Come Up Straight Up. Welcome back to my channel, and if you are new to this channel, welcome. Well guys, I am back with a new video, and this is a topic that I have wanted to speak on for a minute. It is the topic of narcissism. Everywhere you go on YouTube, every relationship channel, every sort of hypergamy channel, it's just, you know, every man who does you wrong or whatever breakup seems to be a narcissist. Now, in this video, I want to discuss the gross misuse of that word, and to say that chances are he's not a narcissist. He just don't want you, girl. But before we get into that, you guys, please do not forget to join me on my Girl Talk Live each Thursday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. We have such a blast on that live. We do it every week, and please join. You are missing out if you don't. Also, you guys, please subscribe to this channel and turn on those notifications so you are aware whenever I upload a great new video just like this one, okay? Let's get right into it. So before we get into my thoughts as it relates to, you know, women using the word narcissism to describe men constantly, I just wanted to explain what is the definition of a narcissist. Narcissistic personality disorder is rare. In fact, less than 1% of the population has narcissistic personality disorder. This is something that has to be diagnosed by a mental health professional. Yes, there are men who have narcissistic traits, but that does not make them narcissist in the true clinical definition of that word. Again, it is a personality disorder, and it is rare. So how has, you know, narcissism become the buzzword for so many women across YouTube? A guy who rejects you, dumps you, breaks up with you is not necessarily even a bad guy. Maybe this person has been damaged. Maybe he had a difficult childhood. Maybe, like a lot of women, he has had some difficult relationships with women. He is guarded. He has been hurt. Maybe your interests simply do not align. If he's into health and fitness and he works out 6 days a week, he may want a woman who shares that interest. And if you don't, that may be a deal breaker for him. If he is well-traveled and he wants a woman who is well-traveled, or at least has some interest in traveling, and you are a person who's scared to get on a plane, you've never been anywhere, that may be a deal breaker for him. It's much easier to point the finger at someone else than it is to accept the fact that they don't want you for whatever reason. Because let's face it, when relationships end, sometimes it's us. Maybe you told them you were 35 when you're actually 45. Maybe you said you had 2 kids when you actually had 4. Maybe you said you were married once when you've actually been married 3 times. On one of my Girl Talk lives, there was a woman, a black woman, who had never dated interracially. She was talking to this white man she met online. And this man called her a black queen. He referred to her as a black queen. Now, did he mean it as an insult? Of course not. He, in all likelihood, meant it as a compliment. But it just turned her off, and she never saw him again. Sometimes it really is as simple as that. One of the most traumatic events or feelings in any person's life can be rejection. Sometimes that does a number on someone's self-esteem. I mean, I think of somebody like Princess Diana, tall, thin, beautiful, loved by millions, but rejected by her own husband. A husband who preferred a woman not half as attractive and twice her age. Diana was 19 when she became engaged to this 30-year-old man. And she had to endure from 19 through 30 some years old, year after year of being rejected and the knowledge that this man loved someone else. And that did a number not only on her self-esteem, she had bulimia. It took her years to get past this, to get over this. And many of us are dealing with a similar sort of trauma, perhaps more than once. I did a video called "A Man's Rejection is God's Protection." And that is true a lot of the times. But there are times when it just isn't. It's much easier to point the finger at someone else. It is a protection mechanism a lot of times. And it is also a means of not taking responsibility.
Many women who describe their experiences with so-called narcissists do so after spending months or years with this man. In the early stages of the relationship, they discovered that he was a selfish, thoughtless, gaslighting user who was both mentally and emotionally abusive. But instead of running away from him, they continued to run to him. Those women leave those relationships feeling useless and hopeless and failed at every direction with their self-esteem cut into two. They tell horror stories about being victimized by the so-called narcissist and focus on what he did, when the real issue is why they stuck around and allowed him to do what he did.
The point of this video is, A, to dispel this sort of myth that every man who mistreats you is somehow a narcissist, to explain what the definition of a narcissist is. It is a personality disorder, and very, very, very few people have it. You cannot paint any person or group of persons with one broad stroke. A lot of women have been in relationships with men who have mistreated them, who have taken advantage of them, who have cheated on them, who have, used and abused them. Yes, there are bad men out there, but narcissism cannot and should not be the default. And it seems like it's become that. And not only is that inaccurate in 99% of the cases, it is, in my opinion, it can be dangerous. So I hope this video was educational in some respects, and I hope it clarified the true definition of a narcissist, and explain that they are rare, and that yes, there are a number of men that may display characteristics of a narcissist, but they rarely are. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you do, well, thumbs it up, you guys, a thumbs it up, and please do not forget to join me every week for Girl Talk on the Come Up, Straight Up, every Thursday, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Please do not forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. My handles will be above as well as below. So, till next time, mwah.